word.
There it is.
The final word.
No doubt.
So loud, man. We ain't talk, bro. How you feel about this dub?
Man, I'm feeling great about it, man. If we play like this every week, shoot.
Man, it's a rap. Like a real rap.
Final word.
Real talk.
Yoga fire. Yoga flame.
We play like this every year. I don't mind losing to the Green Bay in the regular season.
Ooh, good point. Good point. You right. Because I really do believe that brought the best out. It did, in my opinion. And we talked about that before the game. So, you know.
Yeah.
That's not hindsight being 2020. We had the foresight to see that coming. So,
yeah.
So, yeah, man. No, I'm excited about it, man. I think a lot of the Cowboy Nation has calmed down as we should.
The final word. As we should, man.
Yeah,
and now we looking for consistency. I'd rather be on that end of it, right?
Yeah, facts. Yeah, consistent. Right. We got to, yeah, man. I see y'all in the building, man. Thank y'all for coming in, man. We got Law Nation in the building. We got Boss. We looking for big. We looking for the OC. Obviously, they go come in when they come in. We already got the back door open.
The final word.
The final word.
Yeah, man. So, yeah.
The final
Thank y'all
word.
for coming out.
The final
today.
word.
The final word.
The final word.
Right,
Yo, I love how this is, man. We talk about the final word, head into time. Yeah, I like this.
Yeah. We always do it the same way, man. We gonna talk about them boys from Minnesota, or we gonna talk about this latest gossip, bro. You know, we freestyle. So what's up, man? I see y'all coming in the building, man. I see The Truth, MDP, D.A. Lee, Marcus, Swain, Queen Chaz, Cowboys fan, The Truth, MDP, Life's Crazy out of Fort Worth, Texas, dog. Yeah, man, I think I'm gonna be out there tomorrow, bro. So I'm gonna say, hit me up on that DM, bro. I'm gonna see if I can get out there to you. What you got going, Law?
Word. Nothing but to tell everybody to put happy birthday in the chat for BossCowboySports.
Man, it's your boy birthday, man. And we still putting in this work, Law. Do that mean we're addicted? Man, none.
The final word.
Now, why would I do that? Now, why would I take a day off, bro? Yeah, man.
Shout out to the super chat. Somebody dropped the dub in the house.
Ouch.
Norman Andrew. The final word.
The final word.
Appreciate the dub. Appreciate the dub.
Word.
The final
Yeah,
word.
man, let's get it.
The final word.
So we got this.
The final word.
Here we go.
The final word.
Gonna give it to you. There it is.
Come on.
All right.
The final word.
All right, let's get it.
Yeah.
There it is. When you coming down the hall, it's too late.
Yeah.
I just wanna run it up. Kind of check or something. I've been really in the field, let up.
Yes, I've been really in the field.
Been in there.
I've been really in the field, let her rush, I let her feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
I do.
Don't need no deals, I make the deal. Have to take it to a meal. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Yeah. Kind of check or something. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Count that too, count it up, count it up. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Need them ones, I need them fives, need them tens, I need that change.
Tony Bay, thank you for the super chat. Rev Rebel.
Greens and pinks, it's all the same. I still sit and roll my change. Take some losses when I play.
Landlord, man, I see you, man. Ooh, man, y'all coming through some super chats. My bad. Landlord with the $5. Daisy with the 20. Yeah,
20.
Queen with the 5. Oh, Lord, let's run it up.
Ty B from DC for the 199.
Man, let's go. Man, I see y'all with the happy birthdays. Y'all deep with it. I love it. Let's go, man. I appreciate y'all.
Yes, sir.
Ooh,
Yes, sir.
Who we go? We just waiting on Big Game James, man. If he come on in here, let's get it. All right, what's up, OC, man? How you doing, big
What's
bro?
the word? What's up the word, fellas, man? Happy birthday, my brother. Happy birthday, man.
All right, man. So we want to go around the horn, and we want to, give us some thoughts on that game. You know what I'm saying? Real quick, man. They pouring the love out real quick. A lot of super chats on my birthday, man. I really appreciate y'all. Y'all showing epic love on my birthday. Lord have mercy. Let me get it off the OC. Lord have mercy. He beeping.
No. You good, bro. That's my backup notification, man. You know how it is.
All right, so we want to get your thoughts, man, while you real quick, and then we go get into the juice. And trust me, we got plenty of juice. Let me turn on this music. I already know.
Hey, man, so look, if you want to get my thoughts about the game, man, it's pretty simple, man. I mean, the Cowboys slapped up the Vikings like they was on Jerry Springer. I mean, they beat the mess out of the Vikings, man. They slapped the horns off the Vikings, man. They slapped the purple off the Vikings, man. It was a complete football game in terms of an utterly dominant performance, especially going back looking at tape, seeing exactly how dominant that offensive line was. Shout out to the offensive line, man. Fantastic control at the line of scrimmage, great run fits, great ace blocks between the center and the guards on both sides in particular, and great job by Terrence Steele. Dak Prescott was pristine. He was fantastic, and the defense played with purpose, urgency, and tenacity, man, and that was just a total team victory, man, so it was great.
Could you elaborate just a little bit more for me, if you don't mind?
No worries, man. So in particular, man, some of the things that I think that, really are just pointed out, and we kind of talked about this last week a little bit in terms of where to play and how to manage the snaps of Micah Parsons. Well, we saw the tempo setter of the game was that huge sack that Micah Parsons came up with on the third down, and he basically beat Darashaw and chased down Cousins. That was the tempo setter, in my opinion, in this game. And so once we got that done, man, and once we saw, okay, we in it, and the energy that was created by Micah Parsons getting that one sack to start off the game, man, it just kind of set the tone for everything else.
No doubt, man. It's always that first punch that set the tone, and we hit them in the gut. They thought we was aiming for the head. We hit them in the gut, and they fumbled the ball. And I like seeing that, because when we look at this team, I said you learn more from your failures than your success, and Mike McCarthy was able to bounce back with the game planning. And it seems as if, though, not just the players had the team-only meeting or players-only meeting, it appears that the coaches may have had the coaches-only meeting, whereas Mike McCarthy had to sit Kellen Moore down and said, I told you after week one, you got to play more, call better or smarter football. And we saw that they did that. Dak Prescott went back to the formula and the philosophy of anywhere between 24 and 27 attempts. They ran the ball 15 attempts for both running backs. I like that continuity there and the utilization. So Dak Prescott only missed 3 passes, right? Only missed 3 passes. That's equivalent to how many points the Vikings put up. So if we continue to do this and control the clock, let me see it in the chat. Let me see it. T-O-P. If you win that should be the first victory that you try to win.
Yep.
Is the TOP. You do that, I think that there's only one team in the National Football League that can beat the Cowboys, and it's the Cowboys.
Ooh, see, let's make wait. I gotta find the button. There it is.
And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best.
Those grills, rub it hard.
Let's go.
something just hits your soul when it come out. Yes, indeed, bro. So obviously, my take on the Minnesota is, I love the overall team response, and I loved how we played within us. We stuck with our identity, us committing to the run, rested our defense, and allowed them to play at an elite level for a long time. The winning formula was on display. Hopefully we don't go back ever to being pass happy. I wouldn't cross my fingers on that. But this is the game that you frame as who we are and what we can do. And what we should do. And Law, I think you hit that perfect. When we play like that, it's truly nobody that can beat us but us. Man, appreciate the super chat, big dog. He said, happy birthday, G. Appreciate the work all you put. Salute, man. Thank you very much, Brian. We appreciate the love that you showing with the super chats, man. Y'all too kind. Now, I want to get into, obviously, the rumors that's been happening as of now. It's a lot of rumors going out right now about, Dak Prescott and his recruiting of Odell Beckham. I just want to kind of go around the horn and kind of get your thoughts on that and just other stuff regarding that. But, now Dak has come out and said, that he also has put his name in the hat on that. So, obviously, we'll kick it off with you, Law, man. What's your thoughts on, Dak doing this thing to try to get Odell Beckham in the building?
Yeah, I think that Dak Prescott sees the temperament of Odell Beckham, and he knows the pedigree that he brings to the table. And what he don't want to happen is when the playoff came around, he was missing his dog, Michael Gallup, right? And people fail to realize Michael Gallup was that short change type of guy. When you needed the first down, Dak Prescott similarly found him, right? So what he's trying to do is, old folks say it's better to be prepared for an opportunity and not have one than to have the opportunity and not be prepared. We don't want to get to the playoff time and roll out guys with lack of experience or no experiences. So Dak Prescott looking at Odell Beckham and saying, okay, let's bring him over. I think that he's better than a Jalen Tolbert. We haven't seen James Washington. So yes, he's trying to cover up everything and bring him in, recruit a guy that they know they got irons in the fire to see whether or not he can play for this team juxtaposed to playing for another team to help them out. That's how I look at it from there.
Okay, I absolutely love it. Okay, get OBJ in the building. Okay, if you can get this man in the building at a reasonable number, get him in the building, man. Listen, he's gonna do nothing but strengthen a wide receiving core, and he's gonna be that trusty, reliable target that you can go to in key situations if other people are covered. AKA CD Lamb or Gallup. Right. And so I think that at the end of the day, man, you do everything you can when you're at this position in the season to really try to strengthen the team as much as you can, to be as deep as you can. I've never heard of a Super Bowl winning team saying we were too deep. I've never heard that. I've never seen a winning team. Oh, no, we had too many weapons. We were too deep. We had too much. Now, you don't run into that because at some point, invariably, you're going to need an extra piece. And if we can get them, we should get them.
Man, I see y'all super chats, man. I just missed a few. Let me catch back up to him. Daisy said, happy birthday, Boss and Joe. I appreciate it. And then Smoke said, a lot of talk shows eating crow today, bro. It's just funny seeing them put their foot in their mouth trashing Dak. That they don't know what to say. Bro, I noticed that too. It's been very weird. But I'm gonna be honest, man, and I did a video on this today about the dangers of Odell Beckham, and not that many people was able to talk me off the ledge. Yes, another super chat on my birthday, man. Y'all showing too much love. I appreciate it. Well, it's never too much love, but I appreciate it, man. He said, happy birthday, big boss, man. You have a birthday gift, Cowboys, man. Y'all show. See, this is Cowboy love, man. Y'all too kind. Yeah, but what nobody was able to talk me off the ledge is the risk of Kellen Moore. you know, leaving our identity. That's the one thing I'm waiting on somebody to really truly explain. Because I do like the talent, but I don't want the talent to be like what I call today crack, right? To where we know Kellen Moore has admitted that he's addicted to passing the ball.
Shut up, I'm gonna blow your brain. Shut up. I try to kick just be calling me, man. Be calling me, man. I just got.
Yeah, that's that Odell.
Earlier in your play calling career, were you as persistent with the run when you're kind of beating your head against the wall like that? Because
Forget Kellen Moore. Just got a $100 super chat. Kellen Moore, you go wait, damn it. You finna wait. I'm gonna read this slow. Mickey say, boss, I heard what you said before about November babies. Laugh out loud. My pops was on the 15th. Yep. Happy birthday, boss. Thanks to all the panel and the Cowboys content creators for the work y'all put in daily. We the best team in the league, period. God, dog, sure appreciate that, Mickey. $100. That's so dope. Man, y'all are amazing.
Yeah, give a siren for that one, man.
Give her a
Appreciate
siren. What else we gonna
birthday.
give her? Let me see. We gonna give her some more. We gonna give her. Oh, now my buttons ain't working.
bruh.
Okay, we gonna give her that one. We gonna give her that one.
Finish him.
We gonna give her that one. We gonna give her a clap too. Yeah. My boy D.A. Lee, I'm not lying. Us November babies, we oops babies. We the Valentine's oops. We the cold babies. Here you go.
Thing inside of me wanted to throw the football the entire Sunday. So
That's that crack, man. See, that's that crack right there. You know what I mean? Everything in him, even though we won the game, he admitted, can somebody...
Come on, man.
Now, I do feel a little bit better after today, but can y'all make me feel a little bit better, OC and Law? I'm gonna start with you, OC, since I fought you on this the last time.
Yeah, you know, I'm gonna be gentle with you on your birthday. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna go so hard.
No, you ain't gotta be gentle about nothing. You ain't gotta be gentle.
On your birthday. Okay,
crank it up. Ain't nothing but
okay. Well.
Crank it up.
I mean, you asked for it, so here it is.
Let's go.
I think that your position is preposterous. Okay, because OBJ is preposterous, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because of the fact that if you sign OBJ, you still got a little less than half of the season left, and you have the opportunity to work out the kinks. What you fear happening, Boss Cowboy, is much more likely to happen in the regular season than it is the playoffs. And the whole reason for signing OBJ is so that you can be strong and beat critical teams in critical moments in the playoffs. I don't fear Kellen Moore being so pass happy and going away from our identity that's established at this point. What I fear is his inexperience, okay, in big games, in critical moments. I fear that more than I fear him just going pass happy and just abandoning the dominant running game. I don't see that as a liability. I said this before, I will say it again. With OBJ getting in the building in this juncture, you have at least 5 games or so left to work out formations, alignment, chemistry. That's a month to a month and a half before you have the playoffs. So that's enough time to get a good feel on how you want to work with him in this offense. I could see if this was a last-second signing, Boss Cowboy, and we're about to go to the playoffs in 2 weeks, I would be with you 100%. But in this instance, Boss Cowboy, I think it's preposterous to not entertain signing him as a weapon and as a quiver in your as a quiver in your bow, so to speak, if I can put it that way.
How many games do we win when we throwing over 40 times? Very few of them.
I think it's 0. Yeah.
Very
But boss,
few
I'm gonna
of
say
them.
this, and not to cut you off. I'm gonna say this though, but boss, I'm never an advocate of throwing the ball 40 plus times. Dak is in his sweet spot, and Law has spoken to this ad nauseum, right?
Hold on, you can't just no, you can't make a whole case and then be I don't mean to cut you off and then start talking. Heck, no, that's not finna happen. How you gonna just make a whole case and then as soon as I start my case, you be like, I don't mean to cut you off. No. Yes, you did, and I ain't gonna let you do it. So this is the point. No, I'm waiting on somebody to address my actual concern, not the concern that you saying I'm saying. What I'm saying is what's going to stop Kellen Moore from getting into his addiction. See, you made it a case about having time to work out kinks. I ain't got no problem with his play, dog. I'm talking about one thing. The habit and tendency of our OC to get pass happy at the wrong time and giving him good temptation in Odell Beckham. I'm waiting on somebody to talk me off of that fear. I ain't heard it yet.
Well, boss. Oh, go ahead. You got the tape, huh?
No, this is just this is B-roll as you talk.
Okay, so when we talk about Odell Beckham coming to the team, and if he is so desired to be here, being pass happy, we still should understand that the Cowboys still should stick to that philosophy. I think that the Cleveland Browns were a run first team, right? Yep. And they ran the ball still when Odell Beckham was there. I think that even when you look at the Rams last year, one can argue that they were a pass happy team, but when they got into the playoffs, they knew what to do to win games and they had to run the ball. I think that if you look at Odell Beckham as being that safety valve, right? I think that he will be more sufficient than a Jalen Tolbert. I think that he will be more sufficient down the stretch in a playoff game than a Noah Brown. So I wouldn't cut my legs off from under my feet because I'm worried about the offensive coordinator tendencies. That's when the head coach come in and move his weight around. And everybody want a lion. Everybody want tigers. Everybody want these big, massive type of animals. But you can't have a docile person taming those animals. So I think that in this particular situation, boss, this should reflect the head coach. If Odell Beckham come into the scene, and if the offensive coordinator becomes pass happy, then the head coach needs to step in and say, hey, we're trying to win games, not a fashion show.
I agree, but I believe that the head coach is powerless. And they've shown that. They've shown that. I showed on my previous video where Bobby Belt was saying that this offense belongs to Kellen Moore. So it don't belong to Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy, he can influence Kellen, but he can't just say, Kellen, we not doing this. But anyway, I did.
Yeah, but let me jump.
Go ahead.
No, so what I'm gonna say real quick, and I mentioned the same thing, some of the same things the law said before, is that you do have a head coach, right? You cannot overinflate his power to the point that he's head coach. He's not head coach, right? So Mike McCarthy can still tell him we need to run the ball, and we have seen sprinkles of this season of Mike McCarthy. Listen, bro. Let me explain. I'm telling you, and I'm gonna make a case that's gonna help you understand where I'm going. Okay, I'm saying that you have seen influences of Mike McCarthy in this offense in terms of, hey man, we have run the ball more. We have thrown the ball to tight ends and check downs and things of that nature. Even this past week, and to make it stronger, you have the endorsement by all indications in the media, Boss Cowboy, of Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones showing respect to running the football. And that's why I said that it's very likely that he'd get pass happy. He would do it within the first game or so with Odell on the roster in the regular season, which is why it's the perfect time to make that move. If you can get him signed in here with 4 or 5 games left, it makes sense to get all that stuff out. If it is an issue, it should be an issue now, because ultimately you signed this man to win the playoffs. So that's it.
See, you made that last part up. You can't say more than likely he go get pass happy during the regular season. You do not know when Kellen
I said if.
But you made a massive assumption, because his stupidity and his ineptness showed up in the playoffs last year. That's where it showed
Correct.
up, and that's where it
even
showed up
through his
in the
stupidity.
playoffs. So
Even through his stupidity, if Odell Beckham was out there juxtaposed to Cedric Wilson, is that a caught ball?
Yes.
I would say in that scenario, I would trust Odell Beckham to track that ball better than Cedric Wilson. But Amari Cooper was out there and didn't get the ball because of Kellen Moore. So who would you rather have right now, Amari Cooper, or Odell Beckham? And Kellen Moore silliness, even with Amari Cooper, didn't target them enough. So I'm just, this is my main point. Not to, pissing people yogurt who like Odell Beckham, because I like him too as a football player. My thing is this. This is all I'm going to say about this, and I'm going to talk about the good news today from Jerry Jones. We need to be very, very observant if we sign Odell Beckham. That's all I'm going to say. We can't take our foot off the gas, and we can't take our eyes off the targets and the attempts. We got to be even while winning. You know what I'm saying? So we got to make sure that Kellen Moore is focused on the philosophy of who we are, because this is the thing that's scary. Remember, Mike McCarthy said, "I don't see us going away from this winning formula." Remember, he said that. He said, "I don't see us going back," but we did. We did. So I just don't want it to happen at a long time.
Yeah, I think you have, a part of recovery is relapse in certain situations.
Yep.
And it was a relapse into the passing part, but we got right back on it. We're running the football, and boom, we right back at it. So that's why I don't think, and I could be wrong about this. This is my opinion. I don't think this is going to be a debilitating issue for the Cowboys. If not, if anything else, you strengthen this team and you allow more one-on-one matchups with Gallup and with CD, because you can't triple team everybody, and you put yourself in a position to where you put a lot of pressure on the defense if you are committed to going vertical. And at some points, you are going to go vertical. So I see it as a plus, and I don't see it as a downside. I really don't. But go ahead.
Yeah. My question is this.
Before you go to your final point on this, I just look at it like this. The Cowboys, if we stick to the philosophy of running the ball, and of course, I'm not mad at the Cowboys if they do become pass happy, depending on the formation. If it's a situation where you got a single high look and the teams are begging you to throw the ball, then throw the ball based off the formation. If they're playing quarters, if they playing pass coverage defense, then run the ball. I don't think that it should be complicated like that if the Cowboys do decide to utilize Odell Beckham in a passing situation.
Yeah. So my last question is, how often should you try crack?
No, he shouldn't.
That's a trap question. That's a trap question to try to win the discussion. I hate when you do that. That's a trap question. You know the answer to that question. You ask rhetorical questions. This ain't crack cocaine, literally, Boss Cowboy. This is a player that can strengthen our roster, Boss Cowboy. And you got to look at that, because at the end of the day, Boss,
it's like
players
crack.
win games, bro.
No, it's like crack.
All you
got to do is lose your identity one time.
Yeah.
So every time we lost this year. It is not as frivolous as you make it either, OC. So yes, the analogy is because every time we smoked the crack of passing too much, which we did game 1, we lost. Kellen Moore or Cooper Rush was on a roll. We smoked the crack of passing too much, 38 attempts, and we lost. Then we just did it against Green Bay, and we lost. So how many times do you need to smoke the crack to lose?
But there's so many variables with that, though, boss. Odell Beckham wasn't the reason. Odell Beckham wasn't on this team. He wasn't the reason why.
And I'm saying,
we gotta look at it from that aspect.
Why you got Kellen Moore under control? I'm just afraid.
You're being too pragmatic. You just
Yeah,
being
No, I'm not being too pragmatic.
The situation.
Listen,
You know,
what
that's like
you
you
did-
said,
what
okay,
is-
just
and
because
you
you got
not
a
just
speeding
even
ticket,
tempting.
I'm gonna give you the Prius instead of the Camaro, and I'm gonna have the same expectations for you to win in the Prius. You know,
You know who
So
else
no,
you tempting?
no.
You know who else you tempting? You know who else you tempting? Jerry. You tempting Jerry with this box office. If Jerry can get box office out Odell, you don't think he go whisper to give him the ball? And if you whisper to give him the ball, you don't think he go run at the opportunity? Man,
Offensive
you bring
coordinator
it.
can't win with more talent. You expecting the offensive coordinator to win with less talent? I don't understand that reasonings there. Though.
Yeah,
you know?
because
I don't
get it, bro.
I can explain it.
You're gonna lose.
I can explain it. I can
rationale
explain
there,
it
you
to.
know?
I promise you, go get it. If it's gonna take less for us to stick with the identity that's making us win over 95%, give me less. So when we stick to our identity and we win, we don't even need Odell Beckham. If Odell make us abandon who we are, which is running the ball and resting our defense based on having a plan and a family plan of protecting the defense with our offense, then we don't need Odell. Because we starting to average a whole bunch of points without Odell right now.
We shouldn't draft a running back. We shouldn't draft nobody else because we should
I'm
just
not
stick
going
with what
that
we
far.
got.
I'm not going that
Technically,
far.
that's what you
See,
said.
I ain't going that far.
Yeah.
And we could if we kept everybody that we have. What I'm saying is, what I'm telling y'all is this: if we get him and Kellen Moore abandons the run, I'm gonna go crazy, and I'm gonna have a right to, because I was warning. That's all I'm gonna say.
But he had been prone to abandon the run before you got him.
Yeah.
There's no evidence or shred of evidence that Kellen Moore himself is going to stick to the philosophy of just making sure that he keeping Dak Prescott 24 to 27 attempts.
I can't fight that.
There's nothing on his resume that speaks that. So your reservation is more so just primarily on Kellen Moore.
It is.
And you can't cut off your nose to spite your face.
That don't mean you doing that. See, you doing too much.
But no,
I ain't doing all that. I ain't cutting off noses and faces.
Listen.
You cutting off your nose if we start throwing.
No, listen, boss. Listen, like you're thinking.
I am listening. You ain't
from a
making
defensive
sense.
Perspective almost. No, I'm going to explain it to you if you stop talking. Listen, here's the deal. You don't pass up on superior talent to say, I want to control a coordinator. Like, you don't do that. This is the NFL. You go with the best players you can possibly get. And here's the other caveat that you have never discussed in all of your rebuttals. When you get into the playoffs, you are going to face some teams that can slow down this run offense. And they going to put 8 and 9 in the box. And if they can press up and slow down CeeDee Lamb and slow down Gallup, it's going to be extremely beneficial for you to have a third piece that can get open. That's going to be critical to winning some games, bro. This is the regular season. This is the regular season and the ending of, okay, whatever. You can do all that, blah, blah, blah.
Because you made that up.
But it's real.
Name the playoff teams that can stop us from running the ball. Name them.
I'm telling you,
who the top contenders right now that can stop us from running the ball? Name them.
I'm telling you,
yeah,
in the playoffs,
name them. It's enough games to talk about who the top candidates are. So name the teams that can stop the run.
Okay, Kansas City Chiefs.
No, that's not the playoffs. That's the Super Bowl.
No,
that's the Super Bowl. We're not gonna see them to the Super Bowl. You said the playoffs.
No, you trying to paint me in the corner, dude.
No, I'm not. You said the playoffs.
I named the playoff team.
I asked you. Don't talk about no Kansas City. That's the Super Bowl. You said the playoffs.
Okay. Don't you want to get to the Super Bowl?
Yes, I do. But you said we gonna meet teams in the playoffs.
No.
We said we gonna meet teams. Okay, Tampa. We got to do it. Thank you. Somebody finally answered the question. But this is the deal, Big Dow. No, Big Dow actually answered the question. Not like you, OC. He actually answered the question. He said Tampa. But this is the deal. What did we average on Tampa the last 2 times we faced them? 6.2 and 5.1. on the ground.
Boss, what you're
And we,
arguing
and
is
we,
that
and we lost.
you
And
would
we
rather
lost.
you would rather
And
go
we
with
lost.
less
So what's your
talent
point?
because of the fear of Kellen Moore overextending the
Yeah.
run versus
Exactly.
Kellen
We
Moore
lost.
understanding to just run the ball. Look, I can't put that much stupidity on Kellen Moore.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
point-
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Was the team that beat the Bucks last
Man,
year, right?
yes,
and they
you can.
utilized Odell Beckham versus
Man,
the
you-
Bucks, right? So, and we won't even get the benefit of the doubt. A Noah Brown on a Davis or what have you. They ain't gonna call the flag, but they will. They may go back and look at it on a Odell Beckham. It may be better look for CD Lamb one-on-one to the outside versus him being roll coverage on. I get what you're saying, boss. I get what you're saying, but the stupidity got to be on the offensive coordinator if they are averaging 5 or 6 yards per rush and they say, you know what, I just want to feed the guy with the gold hair and the beard. No, man. You can't do that one.
We do that though with
And
Kellen
team-
Moore. All right, let me get to
And
this good news.
no, teams
Let me get
teams
to this
get
good
better,
news.
bro.
Let me get. Oh my God! All right, man. Ooh,
teams get better, bro.
wee. All
I'm
right,
just
this
telling
is-
you, bro. Go ahead. I know you want to fight. Go ahead.
No, this is a good fight. Listen, man, appreciate the super chat. He said, bro, keep it a buck. Wash stopped us. Yeah. Ain't nobody built like Washington, though. Who else got 2 first rounders out there? Allen and Payne. Name another team. Yeah, you can't.
Dude,
I know you
but
can't.
you- but-
You can't.
but you
Listen,
keep on
can I
keep on
move
making
on to the good
excuses
news?
every time
I'm
every
moving on
time
to the good
somebody
news.
give you an answer.
Yeah.
Because it's-
Washington did held Tony Pollard to a 0.8 rushing,
Who
right?
else did? Who else?
Who else did?
Nobody. Because it's only because
They only
that
got to do
team-
it one game.
Yeah, but okay, Washington.
Yeah.
Listen,
They only got to do it one game to beat you, boss, in the playoffs.
Washington,
They only
they-
got to have one good game versus the run to beat you, boss. And that's
we
the
do
point
got
that
to
you
play
got
the
to consider.
Titans. We got to play the Titans down the line too this year.
They only got to do
we'll
it one
see
game.
what the Titans defense gonna do against us too.
All
But
right.
I would rather have the gun. Boss, you sound like, man, give me the pocket knife, man. I don't need the gun, man. You know.
nah, that ain't what I'm saying. Listen, cause see, I know Odell Beckham is a nice weapon. I know
Right.
I know he Dak friendly. I know he would help this passing game tremendously. Not even a little bit, tremendously. I'm not debating none of that. My thing is, I'm afraid of the crack addict, man. That's who I'm afraid of because it's a pattern that's bigger than his talent, and that's this dude having a bad tendency to revert to the pass game at the wrong time. He's a true crack addict. He's truly addicted to passing at the wrong times, and I don't want to feed him temptation and crack. I just don't. But
Well, that's when coaches coach coaches, man.
all right, well, yeah, but I do want to get to the good news because this is gonna make it seem like we had this fight for nothing. Jerry talked about this today. I want us to listen to it. Listen.
Jerry, does it feel like Kellen Moore has gotten a great feel for how to perfectly use Pollard now, which you said you wanted more of before the season started, that Pollard-Zeke usage? Does it feel like y'all have hit a sweet spot?
Well, I think Mike McCarthy, candidly, has seen how to not only maximize Kellen and maximize what we can do offensively, but match that up with what Dan's doing. And that was... for a coach that has coached a lot of ball games, I see if we can win this game out here Thursday that he'll win 150 ball games in the NFL. But he's matching it up, boy, and he's coordinating. And you talk about complimentary football, you hear that from him all the time. He did a heck of a job. Did a heck of a job of coming off of obvious disappointment. No one was any more wounded than he was coming out of Green Bay. And then to turn that around and work with the team and put that together was a thing of beauty. Well done, Coach.
Whoa. So did anybody notice that they brought up Kellen Moore and he said, forget Kellen Moore, Mike McCarthy?
Yeah, to my previous point.
Yeah. And
Mike
listen,
McCarthy has influence in leadership.
Yeah. But also Kellen Moore. This is Kellen Moore's outfit. But at the same time, that was a small spanking. You know what I'm saying? And I've been waiting on some type of spanking from front office to feel more confidence. That was actually a good spanking. Can we listen to just a little bit of it one more time, just the beginning part? because it's just so exciting. Let me just play it one more time.
Fit the plan any better.
Jerry, does it feel like Kellen Moore has gotten a great feel for how to perfectly use Pollard now, which you said you wanted more of before the season started, that Pollard-Zeke usage? Does it feel like y'all have hit a sweet spot?
Well, I think Mike McCarthy.
Wait. Let's clap that up real quick. Let's clap that up. So
So can you say that this is? So would you say this is Mike McCarthy's team?
Oh, I would say this is Kellen Moore's offense. I would say with what Jerry just said, it sounds like a big bolt of confidence from Mike McCarthy. And it looked like they treated Kellen Moore like a little boy right there.
Yeah.
Just keeping it real. So this is the point of that, though. This is the point that that does give me a little bit more confidence, though.
Right.
Just to see, because that happened today. As of yesterday, I was over here like, you know what I'm saying?
Bruh.
But when you hear him say Kellen who, basically, that was a Kellen who. And did I hear that wrong? Am I tripping? Or did I hear
No, you heard that correctly. And you know what the hardest part is, boss? You got Dak Prescott recruiting Odell Beckham.
Facts.
You got CeeDee Lamb and Michael Gallup, and you got also the guys on the defensive side of the coin. So if they're recruiting for him, if they want him out there, then they see something that we don't see.
Yeah.
And I do hear what you're saying with Kellen Moore. It's kind of like when I first got my driver's license, I used to cringe, man, when my mom would be in the car with me because she was so analytical of everything. I couldn't go 5 or 6 miles over the mile per hour, the speed zone, because she would say, hey, you know, put 2 hands on the steering wheel and all of that. So the moment she left, man, I was able to drive that car the way I wanted to. And I had to also understand, just because I see it on the dash doesn't mean that I got to hit that, you know? So I hope that Kellen Moore, through the times, this is his 4th year calling plays, and I hope that Mike McCarthy guided that man enough to know that he got to win games by being efficient on this level right here. 24 to 27 attempts with Dak Prescott. The record screams that the Cowboys are 26-4 when they do that. And on top of that, give a mixture of 15 carries to both running backs, or 10 to 15. So I like that. And this team will go far down the road, man.
Man, I feel that.
And I really think too that it was really important to note that Mike McCarthy is a planning coach, right? And so he's gonna talk to Kellen, if they sign OBJ, about a game plan. Hey, we gotta have a game plan for this. I know Jerry's go talk to these guys if they're gonna actually sign him. They're gonna have some dialogue. And at that point, in my opinion, I really believe, okay, that's fine. You can go ahead, hit it again, make yourself feel good. Go ahead, hit it again, make yourself feel good. But at the end of the day, they gonna have an ideal in mind on how to use this man.
Hey, boss, while you hitting those buttons, man, remember last week before this Vikings game, I heard one of your shows, boss. I was listening to it. And you was breaking it down with the option routes. You was breaking it down.
Right.
And remember this, boss. Remember this. After week 2, we heard Iron Mike, Big Mike, whatever Mike you want to call him, say he couldn't stand option routes, right? For us to hear him say last week, breaking it down, trying to cushion the option routes to explain the reason why Dak Prescott threw those interceptions. Boss Cowboy, I know you got that conspiracy music going, right?
Yeah.
Let me find a conspiracy. How many option routes did he do last game?
Yeah, I didn't see no option routes. It's hard to know. It's hard to know option routes when they do it too. It's also hard to know, but at the same time, it did look like, to your point though, more matchup, because we was attacking particular peoples versus Minnesota. So
whose influence would you say that is, boss?
I would say that's the influence of Mike McCarthy, Jerry Jones, and Steven. But this is the issue. This is the issue. I don't want that passing game to get some momentum like it did versus New England. I don't want Kellen Moore to get no weight. I'm just being real. But at the same time, I don't want, because see, if you empower him, I'm serious, y'all. He showed that he willing to smoke that crack. He just smoked crack. He smokes crack. He's Kellen Pookie Moore. Pookie.
You're right, but you're right, but you can't let the disdain for Kellen's strategy and approach.
Oh, that boy said disdain. It's not disdain, dog. Change
that.
If this ain't personal, this is straight business, dog. I'm gonna take your button for that.
Put hashtag straight business in the chat.
I'm stealing your button. What you mean, disdain? This is not personal. This is business.
No emotions, no
I'm
friends,
taking your stuff
no
right
loyalty.
Now. No loyalty.
Straight business.
Yeah.
Put hashtag straight business in the chat.
I done took the OC's hashtag straight business. Man, what you talking about?
Your disapproval of his approach. All right, let me make that sweeter for you, okay? You can't let that clout in any way the greater good in terms of talent pool. And that's it.
You know what it is?
And it's a greater good. It's a greater good.
He's prejudiced. He's prejudiced. He's prejudiced.
He is prejudiced. He prejudiced. Then he try to act like he ain't prejudiced.
Explain this, dog. Explain this. No, you gotta explain that. I want to hear this prejudice, dog. Explain this, Law. I'm gonna take my time. Go. Come on, now. You gotta explain this. They say y'all giving it to me too, bro. They say y'all giving it to me.
This was on your birthday. I didn't know you would get birthday licks, man.
Man, I ain't taking no licks from nobody, dog. Nobody.
You're prejudging. You pulling the man over. You don't have a warrant to search his vehicle. But you already saying there's a gun in the car. There's a gun in the car. Why are you reaching? You know?
Oh my God. This bull don't come. You mean to tell me I have no reason to check Kellen Moore's car? You telling me I have no reason to check Pookie the crackhead? Kellen Moore, Pookie, I shouldn't check him for drugs. Are you serious right now? Are you serious? Are you seriously saying I shouldn't be checking him?
Without a warrant, man. He got
I got more than a warrant.
What probable cause do you got to check this man right now? You know?
Mickey with the $5, man. She said McCarthy took that L in Green Bay personal. He would keep his foot on Kelly's neck to make sure he runs the ball. All right. I hope so. I agree. I hope so.
Yeah, I agree. McCarthy's parole officer right now, man.
But shit, I sure am. Hey, and let me. The first thing, I sure am. I'm watching this crackhead. I sure am.
Come on, man.
I'm watching that dude, boy. Yeah, I'm keeping my eye all on crackhead Pookie. Surely, bro. No, I want to get to some more stuff that Jerry talked about real quick, man. I want to talk about some more stuff from Jerry that I think is fire. Give me a second to set it up. I should have had it queued up while I was winning that debate. But sometimes you got to be able to walk in true bubblegum. You got to be able to multitask and like win debates and queue up. But that's what I do, you know what I'm saying? I win debates quite easily, and then I queue up.
Both Zeke and Pollard had 15 carries. Pollard had, obviously the 6 receptions as well. But is that the balance that you want, where they both get basically the same amount of carries, or was that just kind of the way the game went?
I'm not going to split hairs with this as far as their touches, but the quarterback has so much to do with that. On one of Tony's touchdowns, Dak checked through about 5 options on that one play, and then put it out there. By the way, that's something that was worked on and talked about before the game when you're visiting about pregame preparation. That play right there was thought about. Don't necessarily go on and check your progressions out, and try to, anytime you can, get the ball in the hands of Lamb, or get the ball in the hands of Zeke or Pollard, Let's do that today. Every chance we get it in their hands, either handing it to them or throwing it to them.
Oh, wait. Where did we hear that before?
Playmaker.
And us, we've been talking about that. We've been talking about that they need to throw it to him more.
He said two people, boss, and that was the pivotal part of this interview. He said, get the ball in the hand of Tony Pollard, CeeDee Lamb. He didn't mention nobody else. And if you go back and listen to what the playmaker said, I'm talking about the original playmaker, Michael Irv, in that playoff game. What did he say? Who did he say get the ball to?
Yeah, he said we should have got it to Pollard, and he also said we should have got it to CeeDee Lamb. Facts. I'm with you.
Right. Or Amari Cooper, etc.
So he did.
So we're seeing this right now, speaking from Coach Jerry Jones. Get the ball to the playmakers. Tony Pollard. Look, and I'm surprised you didn't bring this up, boss.
What's that? What I missed?
You, the OC, and Coach Marv. You talked about leak plays, like passing the ball to the leak. You know what I'm saying? When the running back leak out to the flats.
Yeah,
they did that.
They sure did. The thing that I love.
They listen to the show. That's what happened. They listen to the final word.
They must do, or they just keeping Kellen Moore in check with common sense of the West Coast principles. And I like the fact that Jerry Jones said that they made sure pre-game that they emphasize basically to Kellen Moore to don't just look downfield, and Dak, make sure that your last check is your running backs, which led to a touchdown.
And you know why they said that, boss?
Why?
Because I know they listen to our show, boss. Because one of the first things I said was, hey, man, you guys need to have a check down. This guy was doing all vertical routes.
Yeah,
he would do all vertical routes, and if the vertical routes weren't open, then the quarterback had nowhere to throw the ball.
Right.
Just simple habit. And then you yourself made many videos, or several, about Bell out of Pittsburgh and throwing the ball out of the backfield, which we should have been doing day one, especially with the talent we have at running back.
Now, I want to say this from a concept standpoint. I don't think they should wait till the fourth read to dump it off either.
No, I don't either. I agree. Agreed.
But did you see the time capsule that Dak Prescott had? He had 0 sacks in this game. Like, nobody was able to put a finger on Dak Prescott in this game. And we're seeing, and parts of that interview, I went live earlier today, and I gave you a whole heap of flowers, boss.
You
I didn't
did,
even know it was your birthday, man, and the OC. Because your tail was talking about cross-training, right?
Yeah.
And remember I gave y'all that weird face, and Jones family talked about, hey, those guys cross-train. They got flexibility. Everybody on that offensive line can move around on that offensive line, by the way. Terrence Steele can play left tackle if they wanted to, right?
Yeah.
And now when you see Tyler Smith, he's going to be kicked back in at guard, and Tyron Smith is going to be inserted in at left tackle back. And then on top of that, Jason Peters, he's your swing guy. This offensive line is so doggone flexible.
Yeah.
What was our weakness became our strength.
Yeah. And I appreciate the.
And I'm gonna
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I just appreciate that, Law, because it was a lot of pushback on cross training, but cross training is working. You know what I mean? Yep. And we all feel a whole lot more secure now that we know that they giving obviously Tyler Smith both the reps at guard and tackle. Don't we feel a whole lot more comfortable versus him being thrown out there? Even though. Ideally, you always been right, Law. You never was wrong on this, that the perfect way to train any lineman is to keep him put. That has never been wrong. You have always been dead right on that. But I was just looking at it, given our injury history with T. Smith, it was like we can't be perfect on this one. We're going to have to kind of take 80% versus 100%. So I would say both of us was on point. But Gary, you said you sent me $10 in the super chat. I don't see it, big dog, on the Facebook. Do me a favor. Put whatever thought you had with that super chat in the Facebook comment, and I will still address it. Because I just look, I don't see it, big dog, but I still will address your comment. Just retype it out there, and I'll take it, Gary, because I'm looking for it. Go ahead, OC. You was going to say something.
Yeah, so the only thing I was going to say is this, to bring up another discussion. I agree with you, Law. I think they are probably going to put T. Smith back at left tackle, but I'm going to say something. I don't think they should.
Oh, wait. Before you go there, let me play Jerry, and then we go fight that out. Ooh, because this is gonna be a good one. I like that.
Organically speaking.
Yeah, that formed organically. Let me get it right. Hold on, give me a second. Because we gonna listen to Jerry, then we gonna go right back to that fight.
And Jerry never hesitated when he said it too.
He didn't. Here we go.
These games.
Jerry Jones joins us here, 105 through the Fan. Does Tyler Smith being seen at that guard give us any indication that that's Tyron's going to go back to left tackle when he returns?
Well, when you say Tyler back to left tackle, you mean Tyron Smith? But
yes,
Tyron's will be a left tackle when he returns. To answer your question.
Jerry, how do you think Tyler will make that transition back to a guard when Tyron returns?
Listen,
OC. I don't mean to make something difficult in the very essence of playing tackle or guard, but that's what they were doing, was giving him reps there in anticipation of that, or giving him reps in anticipation of Peters basically playing left tackle in a situations and him playing guard. But position flex, as you well know, is just tremendously valued in an offensive lineman. And we've got some great coaches out there, and they want to develop that flex all the way across that line.
I heard him, and just so you both know, this ain't the first time I heard this interview.
We do this for you. We do this for you, homeboy. What you think I'm producing for you? I'm producing for the 300, 400 to 700 to 800 people that's watching us combined, big dog. Don't get the big head.
I already know. That's why I love you, Boss Cowboy. But let me just drop it like a hot, like potato out the oven. This is wrong, and they shouldn't do it, because when you talk about continuity, you don't mess with that offensive line, especially with a guy that's almost playing at a Pro Bowl level, which is Tyler Smith. You don't mess with it at this point. You work in Tyron Smith as he is. He's a future Hall of Fame type guy. He's fantastic. No shade on him. His career, nothing. He's awesome, right? Awesome, been awesome for years. But at this juncture, with the type of injury he had, he's going to have to come in and he's going to have to play like extremely well, like don't miss a beat well, for me to buy into this. Because if he doesn't, and you need like 2 or 3 warm-up games, we don't got time for that. We're in a competitive NFC East. We're trying to win an NFC East. It's a competition now, and we're trying to get our seeding the best we possibly can for the playoffs. And I don't think it's the right time to play with it unless you had an injury. I don't.
Hold on real quick. Let me take the super chat, because I know Law got some good on that. Because Law had already break this down before. And matter of fact, when I start breaking this down, I'm going to say what Law said. I'm going to steal Law thought and act like it was my thought. But let me take the super chat first, then I'm going to go to you, Law, on that answer to this. But Gary sent $10. He said, this is what I was saying. He said, it doesn't matter who tells Kellen Moore to run the ball or swing it to the backs, as long as Kellen Moore gets the message and execute and play calls. Yeah. I just don't trust him, bro. That's what it comes down to. We also got a comment by Harold. He say, does Odell Beckham make us better? Is he one of the best route runners? Yes, and yes. But then answer my question. Is he temptation for Kellen Moore to become pass happy? If you can answer, I answered all your questions, answer mine. But what was you gonna say, Law, on that Tyler Smith and Tyron Smith? I want to definitely hear from you, big dog.
Yes, indeed, man. It's good to have. It's a good problem to have, by the way. We got literally 4 guys that can play left tackle on this team. Solid. Terrence Steele can play left tackle. Peters can play left tackles. Tyler and Tyron both can play left tackle. So that's good. So that foremost tell me that, hey, we are in good spots and good graces. But last year, Tyron Smith, before the injuries or what have you, he was on to a start of one of his better seasons. what if I told you guys he only allowed 2 sacks last season and 11 pressures? So I look at that resume and I'll say to myself, hey, that's beautiful. Now, the 2 injuries that occurred, of course, the player rolled up onto him, his own guy. It was one of those things, whereas we can say it was a casualty of him playing in a spot, and it just spoils the war, because every time he came back, it took him one game to get into tip-top shape. And I know you know, DOC, his worst game was the Raiders game, and his second worst game was the 49ers game. But outside of that, he was solid for the most part of the year that he was able to play. Yes or no?
Solid.
I agree with you. He was solid, Law, but we understand that he's on the backside of his career, and that, I said this early in the year, the Cowboys go let him play as long as he wants to play here, as long as he can physically play here, right? He's a Jason Witten type of fixture in the organization, and for good reason, because of the greatness of his career when he's been healthy, no doubt about it. But the injury history the last 5 years, we cannot deny. And the wondering of whenever the next injury is going to happen is something that is a real thing with him, because we've had 5 consecutive years of him missing consecutive time. You have a guy that is developing. He's just turned, I think, 20 or 21 years old, Tyler Smith, that is a perennial Pro Bowl type player. Okay, and close to that level as a rookie. And so moving forward in the future, at what point do you make the wise decision and develop the talent you have, understanding that he is great, but that at some point this guy's the heir apparent? Now, I'll also ask you this question. I'll be quiet and let you both answer. Since we are a run-dominant team, and since that is our forte, who's the better run blocker, Smith or Smith?
Let me tell you.
Sometimes I just hit that button because I just want to fight. You know what I'm saying? But I really didn't have no objections. I just wanted to mess with.
I got some to jump right in on it before you go, boss. Then
go for it.
You see, it's the same argument, the OC, of why you bring in Odell Beckham, right? It's Odell Beckham and Jalen Tolbert, James Washington, Noah Brown. So we have to ask ourselves, is Tyler Smith better than McGovern, right? And if you try to utilize this situation of putting your best 5 out there, then there's no argument about this. You have to put the old man out there, because like I said, if you look back at his tape from last season, just his tape alone, you didn't see any hiccups out of his game outside of the Raiders game and the 49ers game. And I'm sorry to take those 2 bad games away from you for you can't use any other evidence that he dropped off. I hate that, man. I hate that. You got no way to fight me on that. You know what I'm saying?
This boy, I see Lauder step to this debate game.
You sound like Luther Vandross. Law sounds like Luther Vandross. I hate to do that to you, but I let you take you down and lay you down slow. You know what, man? Listen, in terms of what you said, McGovern has not been playing bad football. But listen, if you go with the best 5 philosophy, I'm gonna concede on that, because you win on saying best 5, okay? Best 5. But to me, I still think in my mind, I'm gonna say this, my instincts say I don't want to mess with his progression, because he's been playing so well. Even though that Tyron Smith is great, I know he's the future. And I know he's so young. And this man got 12 to 15 years of great ball in him left. And that's my issue here. But if you go with the best 5 theory, yeah, okay, you win on the best 5 theory. But my instincts say you shouldn't do it. That's my instincts. That's it.
Y'all clap it up for Law. Law won the debate on the OC. Y'all clap it up. Clap it up. Now, this is my thing. How in the hell did you not fight Law?
Pookie, Ray, everybody, man. Mama, I thank you. Shaniqua, I thank y'all so much. Praise God, man. Thank y'all. I finally won an offensive lineman battle, baby. Yeah.
Hey, man. Shout out to both of y'all, man. Because first of all, OC, you didn't have to concede. You could have just leaned on the fact that I'm an offensive lineman, and damn it, listen
Yeah,
to
you coulda
me.
beat me up with that.
Yeah, you could have pulled ranked on him, but you could have
I
pulled
could have taken
ranked
it a
on him.
different way.
Yeah, you could, but see, you would have did that to me though. See, that's what. See, you don't lay off no punches when it comes down to fighting me though, bro.
That ain't true, bro. That ain't true, bro.
Yeah. See, but when it's low and big, you be. I concede.
That ain't true.
You should have conceded on Odell Beckham because you was wrong on that. And so let me. And so my boy Big Gill say, "Boss, I know it's your birthday, but you lost that debate on Odell Beckham." No, because he said Odell Beckham make us better, bro. Listen, I'm telling y'all that I know Odell make us better. I'm waiting on one of y'all to tell me how it don't increase our risk. That's what I'm waiting on. Ain't nobody talking me off that ledge yet.
It doesn't increase our risk, boss. How does it increase our risk as long as we don't throw the ball more than we normally do? That's all you're talking about. You're making an assumption that because we have him, we're going to throw the ball more than we've normally thrown it when we won. But if we stick with the same formula and we're not overcompensating,
of course, if we stick to the same formula, that's a absolute of course. But that's not addressing the risk of the fact that this dude tends not to. I'm not gonna go back to that. I already won that debate. All right, so check this out. Yeah, I already won that. I ain't going back to it. I clearly won that debate.
Okay, all right, I'm fine.
Yeah. So obviously, we always on the final word deal with the next opponents. All right. But did y'all have any? Oh, I didn't give my opinion on this Tyron Smith versus Tyler thing. So let me jump in real quick. I was gonna move on, but let me give my 2 cents on it. I agree with what Law said about a month and a half ago. I ain't forget it, Law. Law said something that was so damn wise. I gotta give Law his flowers, and I ain't never forget it. He said, "Are you willing to tolerate 1 to 2 bad games for T. Smith to be Pro Bowl T. Smith?" Because the pattern is whenever he coming back from something, he does have to trend up. And my answer then was yes. And it's still yes. Good thought first by Law, because it makes sense. If it's gonna take a little while to ramp up, I'm cool with that. Because all of us saw him play bad against San Fran, but we also know he was coming off what? COVID. Right. So I don't want to hear nothing about San Fran only as your evidence against T. Smith. You see what I'm saying? I don't want to hear about these ramp-up games as your evidence that he's done. Not when last year he played a lot of the season. If you can only mention one game as a reason not to trust him to be your starting left tackle, I ain't hearing it. Because I believe this, that from the best 5 philosophy and what from Law said, I would take a bad left tackle game for a great left tackle playoffs, and with the upside of Tyler Smith playing that left guard and being absolutely superior on the offensive line, I would take it. That's my opinion on it. Now, if you think I'm tripping, OC, I'm open to be corrected.
No, bro, I don't think you're tripping, man. That's why I had to concede, because truth is truth, bro. And on the best 5 theory, those will be our best 5. Right? Those will be the best 5. So I don't like it in terms of conduct. But here's my issue on if he needs to get loose, right? And I think that it could cost us valuable seeding, right? I think that the end of the season is going to be tight. So that's my issue. And I think it's going to it could cost us valuable seeding where we got to take a road game that, man, we don't really need to take. We gonna be better off starting off these playoffs at home to get the momentum and then have to take a road game. So that's my fear with how much more competitive the NFC East is and the competition of these teams trying to get on a hot streak at the end of the season. So that's my only trepidation about that and messing with the line to let him get his feet wet. And that's it. But if he can come in playing pretty good, 80% of himself, I'm with it. You know, but if man, I hope he's not. But if he's not ready, you know, then I'm like, hey man, you need to kind of sub him out, man, and go back to what we've been doing because we've been rock solid. you know. And I also question his strength level because he tore his hamstring off of his leg. And how much time do you need to get the strength level? Because we're a run dominant team first. And if you're not getting pushed and moving guys 3 or 4 gaps over, like we know Tyler Smith is, then how does that affect us on the left side of that line? Because we are a run dominant play action team first. So those are the two things.
Yeah. Also, I looked into that.
And before you go to that, boss, let me just say this. 2 things can be true.
Right.
I understand what you're saying, the OC, about having those reservations about his strength and what game you're going to sacrifice down the line. I'm looking at it. We got the Giants, the Colts, we got the Texans, the Jags, and then we get the Eagles. So I'm looking at maybe, and I'm not sleeping on any of these teams any given Sunday, but I'm looking at that Texans game.
That's
December
real,
the 11th.
December
the 11th. I'm looking at that game. That should be a game that if he's ready, can throw him out there, warm him up so he can be ready to go up against the division foe, the Eagles.
Yeah. And I want to ask another question too, man. Just throwing this out here, man. Also on what you said about Tyron Smith and what happened to him. Go check out A through Z. He did Scott did a good job on having an orthopedic doctor talk about the fact that it's possible that he could come back stronger because it was like a bone. And when bone repairs, it can come back stronger. It wasn't a soft tissue that can linger. So I want to also kind of point that out, you know, because that's very good content. Then gives you kind of like a real feel of his chances. What's your thoughts on that, OC?
Yeah, I think that anything is good in theory, and anything is great. I like for example, so my son had a distal radial fracture, about 8 weeks ago, and he had on his wrist, and they said, well, you know, he's young, it'll heal back stronger, right? He had the cast out, right, and so he still could weight on his hand, like in a push-up level. It took him like 3 weeks for him to be able to hold his body weight up on his hand, even though they said his bone was healed. Right? So your bones are soft, man. And I haven't tore a ligament. I've tore a meniscus. I've broken my tib, right? And so even when my tib, I had a tib fracture, a tibial fracture, which is a small bone in your calf. You know, when I came back, and I'm not Tyron Smith, and I'm not his body. I don't have his trainers. I don't have the resources that he has in terms of to get his body ready. But, you know, it took me a little bit, several weeks to get comfortable in a squatted position, even after they say my bone was healed. So it's person by person. And I don't know. I wish him the well. I hope he's 2,000%. I really do. I hope he's 2,000%. But I do know from experience and from watching, it takes people maybe a little bit of time for comfort to get really ready to go and have that confidence, man. And if he has that, and his body's ready, and his mind is ready, then he's gonna be great. But if it's something where he needs a little more time, I just say don't rush it. That's what I say.
Then Anthony Terrell said Tyler can start pulling again from the guard spot. And that's my partner Anthony Terrell from D-Town, South Oak Cliff, Singing Hills. What's up, big dog? So what's your thoughts on that? And I want to ask both of y'all a question after you address that.
Yeah, man. So, I mean, anytime we run counter trap, anytime we run toss sweeps with pulling guards and tackling, we very, very successful because we got athletic linemen that are powerful. So they get in open space on the second level and they hit you and knock you down. Right, that's basically simple. So them hitting you and knock you down creates various lanes for our talented running backs, Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard, to have a positive impact and to put pressure on the defense going wide and deep. So I love it. Love him pulling, single guard, counter trap, combo, guard trap, however you want a toss out sweep, however you want to pull him. Yeah, he's going to be very, very effective. So no, August.
All right, real quick, what I wanted to ask y'all, especially with Tyler potentially going to left guard, I do feel that he could potentially be better left guard than tackle. And the vibes that I get out of him, don't laugh, because I'm going to use the ish. The ish. But the ish is important. Zach Martin-ish. Meaning this, where you can be a day one all-pro guard. Especially the way he was trending going into the season, doing preseason. That boy say, boss, Pastor say I'm hating on the OC. No, I ain't hating on the coach. I ain't never, Pastor, I've never hated on the OC. The OC just wrong. He just wrong on some of this stuff. But yeah, he just wrong. Trust me, I'm not hating on him. He wrong. But anyway, I want to get y'all thoughts on that because I see more upside at guard than I do at tackle. I want to get both of y'all opinions on that. I'll start with you, La.
Well, having Tyler Smith on his team is a good problem to have, right? You got a guy that got experiences now on left tackle, which is the premium position on this team. And then you got a guy that, from what you've seen, off of your tape analysis, that he can be a Zach Martin type at left guard. Now, if that's the case, then I don't trust Matt. Well, let's go, right? So that means that you will go back into the 2023 draft and draft a left tackle, if that's the case. Or you're going to have to reach into the veteran pool to pull up somebody, because we know for sure that Jason Peters is not a long-term situation. And we'd be a fool to say, all right, we're going to not invest in that spot and trust Tyron Smith for 2023 and 2024. No. So that means with your first round draft pick next year, you're going to draft a premium left tackle again.
OC, we missing a super chat from Pastor. Do you see a super chat? Because he said he
I don't.
Yeah, I don't see it, Pastor. Make sure it went through, because I'm looking. I don't see it. He said check.
Appreciate y'all support.
I don't see it. But go ahead, OC.
Yeah, when you look at Tyler Smith, I think that he's a hybrid. I think that he's a guy that can play guard effectively because he's so strong at the point of attack. His lower body is strong. He's quick enough to get up on the second level, and he demonstrated that in the snaps he had at guard this past game when they put Jason Peters at the left tackle. So he's going to be a force on the inside because he's just a guy that I don't think anybody in the league, because I've seen him against Vita Beta and all that stuff, I don't think anybody in the league can run through him because he's super powerful. And he has quick enough feet to go to the second level. So I think it's much easier for him to play. I think that he has to learn more technical nuance at the top of his pass sets when he's playing tackle. I think at times he oversets. I think at times he can miss with his hands versus quick, very shifty defensive ends. But I think that he's a grappler. He's a grappler hook. So once he hands on you, it's lights out. It's party over. So when he gets his hands on you, one hand or two-handed punch, you're not going anywhere. And he has good enough feet, and I think has improved throughout the season. And so I would hate to let go of that and just collapse him to left guard unless you had another viable replacement. So and I'm going to expand upon that. I don't trust Walensco or Josh Ball. I don't think neither one of them are going to be your long-term solutions. And those were reaches and those were marginal picks by the Cowboys. You're going to have to address that in the draft. And it doesn't have to be in the first round, but it needs to be in the top 3 rounds with a quality tackle that can come in here. So to your point, Boss Cowboy, I'm taking a long way to get to the answer. Could he be, an elite guard? Yeah. He definitely could be an elite guard, but he's one of those guys with the type of potential. He could be also an elite tackle with just more reps. I think he could do either.
Isn't that fun? Well, that's awesome, man. And great analysis always, OC. Pastor Heatley, I don't see your chat. I just scrolled all the way through. Do like we just did with the other guy. Just go ahead and put your question and comment in a chat, and we'll still treat it like it was a super chat and bring it to the top. But yeah, man, obviously we got the Giants on Thursday. So we always talk about the next opponent. So we can just kind of go through this in general, or it's specific, however y'all want to do it. But getting ready to see some guys who've been playing some really good football, especially late in games. So I want to get y'all analysis on the Giants that's coming up Thursday and what y'all expect. I'll start with you, OC.
Yeah, man, I think that this is a old neighborhood fight now. You know, both teams are familiar with each other. Both teams knows each other's strengths and weaknesses. You got Saquon Barkley probably having the best season of his career. All right. And, you know, he's catching the ball in the backfield. He's running effectively. You know, Daniel Jones is playing with confidence. They're running him. And they do what they do well, and they battle and they keep themselves close in games. Defensively, they're still vulnerable in several spots, but they are a team that wants to prove that they can beat the bully, so to speak. They want to prove that they can beat and compete with the Cowboys. And so they go come and give their best and try to basically steal a game on a short week. That's what they're going to do. So the Cowboys are going to have to come out here and be ready to play and stick with the script of being physical. Make Daniel Jones beat you. All right, Saquon Barkley is so talented. I think he's going to make some plays regardless. But don't let him be the guy to have a 150-yard game on you, right? You don't want that. You want to keep him under 100 yards, make Daniel Jones beat you, and you win this football game.
Saquon Barkley got 6 rushing touchdowns. Tony Pollard got 6 rushing touchdowns. Let's not leave out the fact that Tony Pollard also got 2 passing touchdowns. Tony Pollard equates 8 total touchdowns, and he's more explosive than Saquon Barkley, in my opinion. This is only the weapon that the Giants have is Saquon Barkley. You shut down Saquon Barkley, everything else will fold. I get it. Daniel Jones, he ran for 79 yards the first meeting. The Cowboys, for the first 2 quarters, didn't put a spy on him. Then they said, hey, let's slow this brother down. And they put a spy on him in the 3rd quarter, in the 4th quarter, and his name is Donovan Wilson. Donovan Wilson will play Thursday, and he will be spying Danny Dimes 1st quarter, 2nd quarter, and beyond. That should be the game plan. But when you look at the resume on the New York Giants, they're 30th in special teams. So this could be a big game for Kevontae Turpin, by the way. They're 21st in offense and they're 27 in defense. So we're looking at all of those things. The games that the Giants were able to win, they stood close, they gambled a few times, and they were able to pull some things out. Well, lo and behold, this Dallas Cowboys team, they're going to rally, chase, hit. They're going to make sure that they create pressure. I just look at it that it may be a close game in the 1st quarter, but we're going to pull off because we got the dogs. And I truly believe that Dak Prescott is like 9-2 versus the Giants or what have you. Let's make it 10.
Yeah, and I absolutely agree, especially and great analysis by both of you guys. But when I look at these oh man, let me get that out the way. God dog, sorry, I'm doing too much. But listen, when I look at, let me move this over some too. When you go look at, you know, obviously their depth chart, man, they so banged up in them trenches, man. I'ma just be honest, you can't be super banged up where we extremely strong. You know? Because at the end of the day, players win games. You know? And I just think we're getting ready to be too much for them. I do respect them. I do. I think you're right, OC. You said it right. This is a neighborhood fight. We know this opponent. But I just think we are a little bit more rested. It helped us greatly to put Minnesota away and submit them because it allowed us to rest our guys early, you know? And I think we gonna be better prepared for this game. And I think we're going to have us a great Thanksgiving and we're going to come back feeling good. That's my gut feeling about, you know, going against the New York Giants. I have no fear at all of this game, even though it's always said any given Sunday. Hold on real quick. I see Pastor, what he said. He said, boss, the answer to your Kellen Moore question is Dak. Dak will control the line of scrimmage and get us in the right play to run. But he co-signed Kellen Moore too much. I don't know.
But he checked out of 3 or 4 plays in Minnesota, Boss.
He did.
You could clearly see him when you watch the game. He checked out of several plays and ran the ball, dude.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I mean, if you go back and watch the film, you could see him checking out of plays. He checked, especially if you watch the broadcast. He checked out of 3 or 4 plays, man. So that's a really good comment.
Okay. Yeah, and I just hope that I'm being paranoid. I know I got reasons to be paranoid, but I just pray that y'all right and I'm wrong. You know what I mean? Because again, I do know Odell is talented. I do know he will make us better. I just don't want him to be temptation for Kellen Moore to abandon who we are at the wrong time. That's my biggest fear. And you know, maybe it's nothing, but if it's something, we in trouble. But it is good that it's obviously a whole lot of signs pointing to the fact that it's a lot of people that's trying to rein in Kellen Moore. So real quick, before we get into the last parts, everybody make sure you take it. Oh man, this is the wrong show for that. My bad.
Worst.
So make sure y'all take a like break. Hit that like on all the channels that you're watching us from, whether you're on Big Game James channel right now, because we still streaming to his page and channel. Obviously Law Nation is on a quest to get to 100,000. He close to 90,000 right now. Let's help him get there. Let's really help him get there, because he real close. He getting close.
It's gonna be a D-Law party too. When we get to 90, it's gonna be a law party.
It's gonna be a D-Law
shirt on or something, you know.
Yeah.
90 to represent the 90. Shout out to the laws.
I got respect for other people, things, and what they do, but I really do feel like we the best, and I honestly feel like that. And no disrespect to nobody when I say that. I do feel that. But obviously help us out with what we doing. And if you like this content, which a lot of y'all do, hit that like, subscribe to all the channels. Don't forget to do the housekeeping before we get out of here. Now, obviously we at the best part and what this whole show is about, and that's the final word. So it's the final word of where we are, of whatever y'all want to talk about, however y'all want to close this out. I'll start. So with the final word, we are in a very, very good place as the Dallas Cowboys. We are in a very, very good place. We are in a place to where we had a game to where everything came together, and it wasn't organic, it was planned. Like what Jerry Jones talked about. He talked about them having a plan to use those backs, a plan to throw to those backs, a plan to rest that D by having a particular style in terms of running the ball. We saw all of that, and we saw it all work to perfection. How do we come out of a game like that and abandon what's been working? I don't know. But I do know that it's possible because it's happened before. This man has abandoned the running game when it had his quarterback as the leading MVP. He abandoned it when we were 6-2 twice. Both times we were 6-2, he abandoned what got us 6-2. Every game that we lost, it was because he was pass happy. So everything says that we should be okay. He's the one big risk to me. But other than that, I'm enjoying the ride. I love the ride. Somebody said we lost the volume. I don't think we lost the volume. Sometimes that happens on YouTube, come out and come back in. But as my final word, man, let's continue to enjoy the season. I'm certain that we headed in the right directions. I'm even more certain that we got the right head coach. And I was so happy to see Jerry emphasize and credit Mike McCarthy for what we are and what we just did on the 8-1 team. That's my final word.
Yeah, so the Cowboys are in the driver's seat. They're in control of their own destiny. If the Cowboys go out here and take care of business, and that's what I want to see. I just want to see consistency, not perfection, and I want to see the blocking get harder. I want to see the tackles get harder. Shout out also to a guy that I have had some critique of, LVE. Played tough, stepping up in the holes, taking on Dalvin Cook this past game. I don't want to forget to mention him. He did a great job. So if we can get the physicality at the point of attack from our linebackers, more of that, we're going to be a hard team to run the ball against. Furthermore, offensively, nobody's going to stop us unless you put 9 or 10 in the box against our run offense, which is going to leave one-on-one matchups. And so the Cowboys are in control of their own destiny, and we just need to stay focused, stay the course, finish strong. But I'm going to say one thing, and I want y'all to remember this before we go. Sign OBJ. Sign OBJ. Sign OBJ. Sign OBJ.
OBJ.
That's my final word.
So he's Team OBJ. And that man around the applause. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen.
That was for me, long.
That was for long. I mean, that was for me. That was so saying, you know, I had to hate on him real quick.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everyone that's listening. All right, Dak Prescott is 25-6, right? Against NFC teams, NFC East teams, by the way. So I look at it like this. They're going to be wearing the beautiful colors this weekend. Well, this week, I meant to say the white helmets. I wish you had a picture of it, boss, because
is it on your
if
Twitter?
You look good, you feel good. If you feel good, you play good. That was the famous saying of prime time. And I think that this team should play good out there. They should look at this as a common opponent. On top of that, if Dak Prescott is 25-6, that means that Kellen Moore somewhere in the mix got a positive record against this NFC East team. So bring forth your A game. Let's not fall asleep. Let's not eat too much turkey. Yeah, y'all see that helmet's looking good. Ooh, they looking good. So let's continue to showcase those things. You know, they look good, don't it?
Man,
don't it?
Space Age, baby. Space Age P.
Yes, indeed. So I think Micah, Aaron, Parsons, he didn't get a chance to sack Danny Jones, right? The first time they met. He was coming from the bug or something like that. I think he was the flu game. Y'all remember that? So let's bring this dude out there. Let's get Micah, Aaron, Parsons the ability to get to Jones. Let him rally, chase, hit the quarterback. Let this game be a phenomenal one. I think that the Cowboys are on pace right now to do some phenomenal things this season, and let us kick off on Thanksgiving Day. Let's go. We're very thankful. And once again, happy birthday to my dog, Boss Cowboy Sports.
Man, thank you, bro.
Happy birthday, Boss Cowboy.
Man, I appreciate it, man. Let's get it, man. The final word, man. Another Tuesday.
Yay!
When we coming down that hall, it's too late. Let's go. Super Bowl. Let's go. Yeah, man.
Oh, you mentioned Super Bowl, huh?
Man, did I?
Oh, yeah, you mentioned that. I wish Big A James was here.
Ooh, he would have got mad, bro. He would have been like, no, sir. Did I silk?
You did say that. Y'all rewind.
It came out, didn't it? I sipped the juice.
Yeah, baby. He said it before me. And I'm the
Captain Kool-Aid.
Committee. Yeah.
Hey, man, I need this in my heart. Thank y'all for the happy birthdays, man. Y'all showed a lot of love, man. It's a lot of super chats. Y'all fantastic. Y'all are the best. And I mean that, man. Love you, Law. Love you, OC. Love you, Big, man. I appreciate you, brothers. Just for everything we all doing for the nation, man. So, anybody that want to do any last-minute birthday things, you can also go to that CashApp. But no pressure, man. We appreciate it, man. And even if you
CashApp, so I can put it in the chat over here, man. $sign what?
BossCowboySports. Man, I appreciate it.
Put it in the comments. Hold on.
Appreciate it, man. You good, Law. You good. So yeah,
Boss Cowboy without the S, right?
It's with the S. It's with it. Yep.
Boss Cowboy Sports.
Yep.
Oh, I got it. Okay, hold on. Make sure I